Welcome to the Commission Report. I'm Gabriella Ferraro for MCTV. Here on the Commission Report, our goal is to keep you informed about recent Board of County Commissioners meetings and the decisions that were made that may affect you. Let's begin by reviewing the meeting held on June 3rd. Commissioners are not on board as they unanimously approved a resolution opposing All Aboard Florida. The planned rail service has been a hot topic of discussion because of concerns regarding negative impacts to our area. All Aboard plans to provide passenger rail service between Miami and Orlando, adding 32 trains daily to the rail corridor, traveling at speeds of up to 110 miles per hour. Citing potentially negative effects to our overall quality of life, the resolution addresses items related to financial impact, public safety and welfare, the environment, and the ability for the public to comment on the project, among other things. The resolution requests that All Aboard Florida pay for bridge upgrades, improvements to rail crossings, and construction of quiet zones, schedule trains in a way that minimally impacts road and waterway traffic, and ensures that the Indian River Lagoon is protected against any negative effects of the project. After requesting some changes strengthening the language in the draft resolution, commissioners voted 5-0 to approve the document. Indiantown's enterprise zone may receive a boost as the board is considering a proposed tangible personal property attraction program that would give tax breaks to businesses storing large amounts of tangible property such as equipment, furniture, signs, and supplies within the enterprise zone, an area encompassing 9.7 square miles in the heart of Indiantown. The Indiantown Enterprise Zone was established in 2011 with the purpose of retaining existing businesses and attracting new ones, or business expanding, or locations in the area. At the end of the discussion, commissioners directed staff to come back to the board with some proposals and additional research on the incentive program. In other news, commissioners will meet with the town of Jupiter Island officials on July 9th for a joint public meeting. As the second phase of the Florida Governmental Conflict Resolution Act, the two entities are set to publicly discuss a dispute related to management of the St. Lucie Inlet. During the first phase, a conflict assessment meeting was held where it was agreed that both parties would continue to work on the inlet management plan, the permitting for dredging, and any other necessary agreements. The July 9th meeting will address additional details related to these topics. And next, let's take a look at what happened at the two meetings held on June 10th. Commissioners began their day at their semi-annual joint meeting with the Martin County School Board and the City of Stuart Commission. The boards heard presentations on capital improvement programs for all three entities, school enrollment counts, and large-scale development projects. The group will convene again early next year. Following the joint meeting, commissioners moved on to their regular board meeting. The Public Art Advisory Board will be reconstituted as the sun sets on this independent community redevelopment agency that used to serve as the Public Art Site Selection Committee. Per board direction, the Public Arts Ordinance will be amended to state that there shall be 9 members of the Public Art Advisory Board. Members will include an architect or interior designer, a landscape architect or land use planner, an art professional, an educator or art historian, and someone nominated by the Arts Council. The other 4 members will be citizens with knowledge of and appreciation for the visual arts. The ordinance will also be amended to ensure community involvement through the appropriate neighborhood advisory committee when a project involves a community redevelopment area, and involvement through local stakeholders when the project is not located in a community redevelopment area. And during an attorney-client session, the board accepted a proposed settlement with the City of Stuart, the Stuart CRA, and Gulfstream Natural Gas System to rectify 2 errors made by the Property Appraiser's Office that resulted in tax funds being misdirected. The agreement comes after 2 months of negotiations between the city and county and protects taxpayers from costly litigation on this matter. And finally, commissioners discussed changes to the county's comprehensive plan that addresses sewer services. In March, the board adopted a resolution to initiate a comp plan amendment to Chapter 10, the sanitary sewer services element. Staff appeared before the board to receive additional direction prior to scheduled public hearings on the issue. Commissioners asked staff to make several changes that included restricting on-site sewage and treatment disposal systems to a flow of 2,000 gallons per day per lot, eliminating all package treatment plant availabilities, eliminating the expressway-oriented transient commercial service center district's land use designation, and denying sewer and water services in the secondary urban services district. Public hearings on this amendment will be held in July and August. And finally, let's take a look at some highlights of the meeting held on July 17th. At the beginning of this meeting, commissioners received a project update on the covered horse arena planned for Timer Powers Park in Indiantown. Because of a change to the county's policies regarding the use of impact fees, dollars originally planned for use to add a roof to the arena had to be transferred to another project. Several Western County residents were on hand to voice their support of the project and comment on the possible uses of the facility should the roof be installed. Ultimately, commissioners approved offsetting transfer of park sales tax funds to replace the lost impact fee dollars and asked staff to come back in July with additional information regarding the cost of the project, including installation of restrooms and bleachers at the facility, as well as future revenue opportunities. The board showed their continued commitment to the health of our waterways and estuary by taking steps to strengthen the county's fertilizer ordinance. Proposed changes include increasing the setback from 10 to 25 feet for fertilizer application next to bodies of water, requiring the use of 50% slow-release nitrogen fertilizers, and changing current requirements from low phosphorus to 0% phosphorus fertilizer. Martin County's current ordinance already bans the application of fertilizers containing nitrogen or phosphorus from June 1st through September 30th, typically considered the rainy season in our area. Once the changes have been made, this item will come before the board again in a public hearing. And commissioners continue to consider joining forces with the City of Stuart to provide fire rescue services to residents. In his presentation to the board, Martin County Fire Rescue Chief Joe Ferrara provided a comprehensive look at the options for consolidation of services, including the creation of a special taxing district or incorporation into the Fire Rescue Multiple Services Taxing Unit, or MSTU. Following the presentation, commissioners further discussed whether consolidation of Martin County Fire Rescue with the City of Stuart would be beneficial to residents, and if so, what would be the best way to do it. At the end of the discussion, the board authorized staff to speak with the City of Stuart to further discuss available options. For additional details about an agenda, or if you would like to watch the discussion for a specific item, you can go right to the county's website, martin.fl.us, and access the Video on Demand function. Video on Demand is set up so you can jump directly to the agenda item in which you are interested. Just click on Video on Demand and follow the directions. Well, that's a wrap for the Commission Report. I'm Gabriela Ferraro, and thank you for watching MCTV, where we're committed to keeping you connected to Martin County government.